right. Well, let's go ahead and get tonight's interview started. What we're like, again, what I said, we're going to kind of recap the year that we had and talk about some upcoming things. Melissa on there. Merry Christmas to everyone. Merry Christmas to you, Melissa, all the way from down the hall. So, Kay, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Kay. We'll see you this weekend too. Let's go ahead and bring in Mr. Alex Smith, and then we'll get CJ on a little bit later. What's up, brother?
What's up, Ronnie? How you doing, brother?
You,
I'm good. I'm just messing up on clicking all the buttons on here tonight.
I'm a lot of people don't know Alex is the man behind the scenes. Yeah,
I'm happy I'm behind the scenes. You're the man in front of the camera all the time. So I know. I mean, you told the people kind of what we're going to do tonight, but I kind of wanted to flip the script on you too, because I think you've been at this for like, I mean, how many weeks are we into this now? We've done like 26, 28 of these, I think, at this point, something like that.
Yeah. Over 6 months. Yeah.
I don't know if these people know enough about you. It's my personal opinion. I think we should maybe try to ask. I think we should flip mic, as they say, and ask the interviewer a couple questions of I don't know. I thought people might be curious, why Ronnie, why you're doing this, why you have this interest in country music, why you have this interest in Louisiana. So I figured maybe we could kick off by asking you a couple questions tonight that kind of give us a better insight to why you're doing this whole Louisiana country music thing.
Yeah, dude, let's do it. I'm game. I'm an open book.
All right, cool. All right. Well, I mean, let's just start there. A lot of people don't know, I guess, your songwriting and your journey as far as the music goes. I'm sure some of the people in Vidalia do, and your band does, but maybe give us a better understanding of some of your music upbringing and some of the highlights you kind of had in. I don't know. You've been in Nashville, you've been all over the place. Come on, give us something.
Yeah, man. Just growing up, my parents always had the old country in the car, the Merle Haggards and the Willie Nelsons and all of that. And when I was early, I started really listening to lyrics for whatever reason. And then whenever I was in high school, the only thing that could keep me inside, because all I wanted to do was run around the neighborhood all day and play basketball and all that stuff. The only thing that could keep me in the house is when a new CD came out, and a Garth Brooks CD would come out. And I would sit there like a nerd for days with headphones on, plugged into the little stereo, and I would just read the words. I would go through every song on the album and just read the words. And I just started really taking an interest on how they phrase things and where they said it. And I really started, I guess I was, without knowing, I guess I was studying songwriting almost. And I just thought it was fun, but I didn't really know that later that I would become a songwriter myself. Years later, man, I'm 25 at this point, and I'm on the beach in South Padre Island, Texas. And I noticed that everybody, all these little places had songs about South Padre and this and that. Well, I had my guitar there and all of that. And so I get to drinking, and I tell myself, I'm going to write a song tonight. And so I went out to the beach with some beer and a guitar, and I was I'm not leaving this. It's 2 a.m. at this point. I'm I am not leaving the beach until I have a song. And then 30 minutes later, I had my first song ever, and I was that wasn't that bad. I could do this. So I woke up the next morning, and I was okay, cool. I just wanted to do it more and more and more after that.
Yeah.
So that's
how was the song the next morning? Did you still like it?
It was, but I thought it was cool then, but then you look back and you're man, that was pretty bad. Luckily, I didn't know enough to
get you started.
That's right. That's right. I see Lauren Cannon says, "Hey, Alex, Merry Christmas too."
Hey, Lala, how you doing? Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to everyone. Thank y'all so much for joining us. We have so much fun doing these. We've had such a blast working on all of them.
Yeah.
Okay. So that kind of got you started. Then you ended up having a band that was successful too. How did it go from you kind of learning a little bit about writing and writing your first song on the beach to you running into having your own band and doing some stuff with it?
Yeah, so I started writing a lot, man. And, whenever we used to do radio and stuff, people would always ask me about writing and this and that. And I would always tell them, I had a guitar and I couldn't afford therapy. So I just started writing music. It was just a good, cheap therapy for me. But
right.
Anyway, man, I started writing, and I'm not a great singer. I'm not a great player or a great singer, but I'm a better writer than either one of them, than either one of those things. But fortunately, I have some really talented people around me. One of my great friends, one of my best friends in the world, Charlie Hug, is a phenomenal singer. And then one of my buddies down from the New Orleans area, Matt Tortorich, is like this incredible producer. So we just all kind of got together and it was like, man, we all kind of do these different things. Why don't we just try a song? Like, let's just go in the studio and do like a song. And we did a song called Friday Night Heroes, which was pretty cool, man. And people really started digging it and ended up like, well, let's do some more, and we ended up putting an EP together. And it had our first EP had the Friday Night Heroes. It had like 5 songs, but it also had 2 songs that kind of became our biggest songs out there. One called Louisiana and another called Swamp Assassin. And they both streamed like several million times each now.
Dude.
No promotion really on them or anything, but they're still
doing well. But I mean, even at Tiger Stadium, I mean, I've seen the videos of that kind of stuff floating around where it was played there. I mean, how cool was that?
Yeah, man. We've got CJ that we're gonna bring on in a few minutes, and he's got a couple of those big number 1s and stuff. And I would love to have those, but for me, that's kind of like my number 1. For an LSU boy, it's kind of cool to see to go to a game and to look at the jumbotron and see your video up there and all of that. Yeah. And our buddy Jason Suit, who you knew. He was with Visit Baton Rouge for a long time, and now he's in Tulsa. But you met him. But he reached out to me one day whenever he was working for LSU Athletics and was like, "Hey, man, can you come to the athletic administration building on like Monday or something?" I was like, "Yeah." I didn't know even what it was about, and they bring me in there. They give me this little walking tour and stuff. And he's like, "So what we want to do is take your song and make our own video and put it on the jumbotron and all of that. Is that cool?" And I was like, "Dude, you could have just texted me that." I was like, "Yeah."
Totally.
Like, I appreciate it. I was like, that's an easy yes. So so that's kind of how that came to be. And it was really cool. And just to have people, sending you text and stuff that, I'm one of those people that, even though I wrote the song and we all did it and this and that, Charlie's on it, we all look at it as like, this is for everybody, like all of our buddies and stuff. Like, it's fun. Like, we're all in this thing together. So they had just as much excitement, my close friends, and, they had just as much excitement seeing it up there as we did, because we're like, man, awesome. We did something cool, Yeah, so that was pretty much how that went down.
Well, we know about how good that feels, even with what we're doing here. Like, just there's something about having a couple people that can all be excited about it together that changes how it even impacts you individually.
No doubt, man. No doubt.
Super cool, man. Well, I mean, I don't know. I was just excited to I know some of those stories because we've been, of course, chatting about all this stuff as it goes along, but I know everybody else doesn't. And then I think one of the other ones, I know CJ's in the weights over there, but just one more second, because I want to do a little bit about this. Louisiana Country journey has been longer than what's been present socially for us for the past year. Could you maybe walk people through the journey of why you're doing this, how long you've really been doing this, just maybe a little bit more scope of the project, because I think it's really interesting.
Yeah, so back in 2015, man, 10 years ago, I was living in Nashville, and one of the things that I noticed was that, man, it's really hard. Like, the music business is really, really hard. I mean, it's harder than, like we've talked about this, it's more difficult than making like the NFL, statistically speaking. Yeah. It's tough. And
short rosters.
Yeah, and I noticed that, I was fortunate that I knew some people, but I still didn't know a lot of people. I had to get in there and grind and all that. And I was thinking, man, wouldn't it be awesome if there was like a community of Louisiana artists and stuff like that we could build? So I kind of had that idea in my head, and I started Louisiana Country Music, and I had a website, and I had this artist listing, and I just started trying to promote everybody. And just a few months in, man, matter of fact, it was this time, just a couple of days before Christmas. Matter of fact, it might be this day actually, but we found out that that my dad had stage 4 liver cancer. We knew he was sick, but we didn't know what it was. And they called that day and was like, "Hey, it's stage 4, it's liver cancer. He's not going to be here long, this and that." So I got all my stuff from Nashville and brought home enough to just live here for a while, and
Mm.
and he ended up living from now until like April 4th. And but
Yeah.
I spent every day with him. Just
Yeah.
spent all my time with him and this and that. But that kind of
Yeah.
obviously knocked me off of my pattern for Louisiana country music a little bit.
Totally.
So when he
Yeah.
passed, I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to get back to Nashville. I'm going to get back on this project. And
Yeah.
like, dude, like literally the very next week after he passed, we found out my mom had ovarian cancer. And
Mm.
I just looked up at the Lord. I was like, look, man, I'm going to get all my stuff and I'm coming
Yeah.
home, help take care of my mom, and
Yeah.
just do what I got to do at this point. So pretty much anything from music at that point, I kind of lost interest in music, songwriting,
Yeah.
everything. And I just put everything on the back burner, man. And over the years, I've became, I started teaching and working with kids with disabilities, special needs kids. And I don't know, I've done some things here back home now. And about last year, whenever I reached out to you guys, I was like, hey, man, I really want to bring this back. It just won't die. Like it's up here and it won't die. And it's still needed as badly today as it was 10 years ago. And if we don't do this, maybe nobody ever will. I don't know. But let's just give it a shot. And you and CJ were both quick yeses, and man, I couldn't have done it without you guys anyway. Like it's funny because at first I was thinking I could just do it by myself. Now, knowing what I know now, I'm like, it's no way, because we put in so many hours on this, man. But that's kind of how it came to be. That's kind of the story behind it. I think that's what really makes it special to me versus some other projects, is that this is something that I know that my parents are both up there, and they're looking down every day, and they're proud of Louisiana country music, and they're proud of, because they love this idea. They were like, this is a great idea. And so I know this is something that's special to me, because it's kind of my way of doing something for them, that to keep making them happy, hopefully.
I don't think I knew that piece, that they really liked the mission of this whole thing. I knew the story, but I didn't know that they were really invested in this as a project. But I mean, I think that's true of everybody we've talked to, and we all kind of had shared visions about what it could be, even within that. So I mean, it's really cool, man. I'm happy that we are doing it, and you're getting to kind of fulfill that thing, even though it's been some time past. But I mean, that's rocking, baby. We got some stuff going now. I tell you what,
man. And if there's one thing I've learned about life in general, man, everything is about God's timing. And if I would have started it back then, maybe I flame out and maybe it crashes and maybe I lose complete interest in it or whatever. For whatever reason, things happen for a reason. And if you believe that and kind of live like that, it can get you through. And here we are 10 years later. And I'm having as much fun on this project as I've ever had doing anything. We've got a great team, and we're going to bring CJ on and talk about this past year. And man, it's just so much fun, dude. Like all the artists that we've met, the writers, the musicians, you turn over a rock and there's more talent. We're still finding it's like, oh my goodness, more talent.
Deep,
we didn't even know about.
Well, tons of talent, man, and just so many people that I think we're also looking for that community, because we always, I mean, we go to the stories of I mean, I had one person, I slept on their couch, that I knew from Louisiana whenever I moved to Nashville. And we talk about how special it is that some of these events that we're doing, we got 30, 40 of us in a room, to where it's like, just come to that. Because everybody from Louisiana is so friendly in those environments too, to where it's like you feel like you're back at home in that. So it's been cool, man. It's been cool to see it on all fronts and get to meet everybody. Well, let's bring CJ on too. Let's talk about all the cool stuff we got to do this year. I just wanted people to know, I want to also commend you before that too, because you've kicked butt, man. You're so good at hosting. You're so good at lifting these artists up and allowing for this thing to kind of keep churning, man. And so commend you very greatly for all the stuff you've done so far, man. It's going to be fun for this next year too.
I appreciate that, man. And I do want to say, like, we're having fun on Tuesday nights, but a lot of people don't know how many hours we put into this 1 hour show. We put hours into it. And one of the things that I hope shows through this thing is, I hope that the artists and our guests know this, is, man, I really take it seriously, because to me, I'm like, if they come on and they spend an hour of their time with me, I owe it to them to be prepared. I owe it to them to learn them and to know what questions to ask and all of that. And I don't always get it right, but I always do my best to be prepared because I feel like I owe it to them, and I owe it to their family and their everybody else who's invested in their careers and all of that. I owe it to them to do that. So I just hope that everybody knows that about, and you're putting in hours for every show, making the slides look great and all that. So, but thank you for saying that, man. You're kicking butt on the other side of it too.
Thank you, brother. Well, we're excited. We're excited about all the things. Let's talk about all the progress we've made. CJ Solar in the house.
CJ,
I'm raising the Ronnie Calhoun purple and gold flag, brother.
That's right, bro.
What's up, dudes?
What's up,
Hey, brother?
CJ was on like a 12-hour vehicle ride today. He rolled into Nashville at like 30 minutes ago, and now here he is. That's commitment right there.
I'm gonna miss it. Merry Christmas.
That's right.
Merry Christmas.
Heck yeah.
Oh man. Go ahead, Alex. You want?
I don't know. I mean, you can lead it too, Ronnie. I just wanted us to kind of to recap tonight. We're excited, CJ, because I feel like we've all kind of got to see this thing over the past, like, it's almost a year since our first event. I guess is kind of roughly how we're looking at it. But it's been about a year behind the scenes of us all doing stuff. But kind of wanted to talk about all the stuff we kind of checked off the boxes and some highlights. I don't know. I felt like it'd be fun. I see some of these other Mr. Beast and some of those people out there. They do these goals of what's been done and then what's coming up. So consider this our digital journal for everyone this evening.
Heck yeah. I mean, I think we did a lot of really cool stuff this year. I mean, the events. I mean, we went to the Louisiana Fairs and Festivals convention almost a year ago in January. Yeah. I think we're going to be back this year too.
Let's do this, CJ. Before let's start there. Let's just start at that because that was like our first time to really go public and stuff, and then let's walk through them like that. I think that'd be a great way to tackle it.
We made a lot of progress there, man. We didn't know what we were doing there. I can tell you that.
We were just hanging. We knew we wanted.
We had a great time. It was awesome.
Like-minded people, people who love Louisiana country music, and all the fairs and festivals have Louisiana music at them, and made a lot of cool connections there. And yeah, I mean that was I think a great way to kick off the year, and I think we're.
I love the fairs and festivals. That kind of opened up the world to me.
Yeah, I know it was a whole different world, man. Miss Kay, who's in the comments tonight, watching with us, she's been a part of fairs and festivals for a long time, and she really encouraged us to become a part of that. Now I'm glad that she did, and we're going back in, I guess January. I guess we're going back.
February
again. February, okay. So
yep.
Go ahead.
No. I'm sorry, but that was just a different world as far as that whole thing down there. And it is interesting that I didn't know that Louisiana had more fairs than we do days. So I mean, talk about some opportunities and fairs popping up for everything and festivals. I mean, it was just very interesting and to see the opportunities for us to kind of get Louisiana country music involved in that and the excitement around some of that, I thought was all really cool. For even it just being our first year there, I think everybody was kind of rallied around the mission a lot, even though we were still putting it together.
Yeah, I think if it walks or crawls or flies or grows or they got a festival for everything. So shortly after Louisiana Fairs and Festivals, we got with our buddy Jeff Reed over there at the local, and we had I think that was our first event, right? We had our Louisiana Country Music Mardi Gras takeover, and I think we had like 17 or 18 writers just get in a room, which was really cool because what I noticed from that night, and then I'll let you guys share your thoughts on that night, but the thing that stood out to me the most on that was a lot of those guys knew each other, who they were, but they had never met, and some of them had been in Nashville like 5-10 years, and they're like, yeah, man, I know who you are, but we just never met for whatever reason. And now some of those same people are like writing together and stuff like that. You guys are writing with some of them up in Nashville. I think both of y'all have been writing with Amanda not too long ago and stuff like that. So anyway, what were your thoughts on kind of our first event and all of that?
I know personally that did some of that for me, even I was going to say, because I don't know, there was Bo Bailey I'd met at LSU back in the day. but I didn't even realize, and I hadn't been reintroduced to him in the Nashville context. And so I'm like, oh man, I didn't even know you were up here doing that. And he's in the backyard. And so, I mean, it's like, there's so many of those that I think we got to kind of do what we talked about earlier, provide a room that had a bunch of people that were excited about being connected with one another, having this shared interest of being from home, being from Louisiana.
Yeah, we had James Dupree who brought out Randy Travis, which was really a special, end to that night. I remember the one comment from that night from even people that weren't from Louisiana was just how every single person who played was unbelievably talented. And obviously we invited a lot of friends, but we invited some people we didn't really know as well, just to try and get people we knew were from Louisiana out. And I'm assuming we're going to say, but we're doing it again this year. And we're snacking one on top of it this year. I don't know if who wants to announce the additional show we got from Mardi Gras this year.
Yeah, we'll do that in a minute. We'll walk through the year, and then we'll talk. We'll preview what's to come. But yeah, I can't wait for that, man. Super excited about that. We also did we did a writers retreat in Nashville, which was really cool. A lot of great songs came from that already. We did a couple of social hangs. We did a Louisiana Country Music Takeover for CMA Fest at Martin Barbecue, and our buddy Paul over there, nice enough to hook us up on that. So what did you guys think about like the CMA stuff that we were doing and all of that?
I think it was good for getting, people from Louisiana who were up. We had a bunch of, well, I'm not going to say the term, but we had a bunch of Louisiana people up hanging out in Martin's.
Yeah.
We know.
Well, while we played, you know what I'm talking about. We had them, and man, I think everybody had a great time. We had some Mardi Gras beads. People were looking for a place to sit down out of the shade, out of the sun, get in some shade. And Martin's is such a great spot downtown, just right off the main path a little bit. And we had a great lineup, a bunch of people playing full band. And it was just, I think, the next step in having some full band type, band Louisiana showcases. That was a great one.
I can talk too much, Ronnie. Sorry, but I like both too much. I'll stick with CMA since we're there first, and I'll go back to retreat. But CMA, I thought that's a really cool thing because I think we're trying to open some doors in Nashville for people that I think are doors that we all see as like stepping stones. I think having a CMA style event where people are already in town and they have an opportunity to come see you while they're already coming down and seeing. I mean, it's a busy week nonetheless, but it's a cool check mark to go, hey, I've got something going on at CMA Fest. So even that for a few artists that I think we got to put a lineup together of, I think that's really cool. And some of the expansion ideas we have as far as things we can do in the future with some of our potential future partners and things that we could get in, I think could really expand that CMA presence and could be something that's really valuable for everybody. And so I loved the CMA event, and I thought that was another cool place where we got a bunch of Louisiana people in there. A lot of purple and gold. There was a lot of people stoked to be wearing some beads. It was a good time to be showing other spots outside of Louisiana what Louisiana Country is about. So I thought that was another cool time to kind of see how it was reacted to in a different environment. And I'll speak for 2 seconds on the retreat too, because I love the retreat. You guys know that's where my heart is at with a lot of this stuff is like, I'd love to see the back end of all this come together where we're all writing for one another and helping each other out as far as that goes. And I thought the retreat was such a step that direction because everybody just as expected. They were all amazing and wrote great songs. And I think we got some of the hangs out of it like we wanted to. We sat out by the pool and had everybody just play songs. And that's where we get back to the talent pool, silly good. And it's again, like me and Ronnie talk about a ton, and CJ, too, is like, I think a lot of people from Lafayette know how good Gabriel Broussard is, but I don't know how many people in Alexandria know just yet, and same with Amanda and same with you, CJ, and same with whoever else is out there. So it's cool that everybody kind of working together collaboratively is getting that shown across all these different spots that we just didn't have access to before. So I loved both.
Yeah, no doubt, man. So one of the things that really stood out to me for that CMA thing in particular, that CMA event, was just how many people from Louisiana showed up.
Yep.
I mean, we had that place filled up, and there's a lot of Louisiana in there. I mean, it was amazing. I was not expecting that. And a lot of the people weren't there with like the artist or whatever. They were just like, no, we heard Louisiana country music. We were coming. And so I expect this year, we can't quite announce it yet. We got an amazing new partner coming on for 2026 that we'll be announcing probably that first week of January. But together, we're going to do something really cool for CMA Fest again, too. So even bigger. One of the things that some of the ways that we've been helping people, we've got our website, which has really grown over the first year. We do this every Tuesday night. We've got our social media, which is crushing it, amazing. We've got our Spotify playlist. We've got YouTube. We've got all these things going and working together. We're trying our best to promote artists in everywhere that we can. Let's talk a little bit about these Louisiana Country Music Lives, because we've had some amazing guests on. I mean, we've had, 10 people who've played the Grand Ole Opry. We've had people who've written big #1 hits. We've had people two people been on the stage with Tim McGraw and singing this and written Tim McGraw songs. Just so many people out there. What are some of the moments that jumped out to you guys so far? I know we could talk about this for an hour, but just a couple that kind of jump out to you.
See, do you want to start? Because I'm always long-winded.
I mean, my buddy Jim McCormick had some great stories, great advice. I loved hearing Karen Waldrop's story, Amanda Shaw's story. Hearing some of the stories behind some of the people that I'm friends with that I didn't even know some of their stories was really cool. Yeah. And then getting to know some other artists better was really cool. Tracy Broussard, I didn't know him. It was really cool getting his story and some other people's, and hearing other sides of the business, from the player side to I guess that's one of the main different ones that we had on. But I think we're going to try to get some other people, maybe some publishers and some other biz people on. I got some music business attorneys from Louisiana that I'm buddies with. So I think we'll try to get some of those people on next year. I'm looking forward to hearing their perspectives and how they got into the music business. And how, Louisiana shaped that for them. But yeah, it's been just really cool. And people that are in Nashville and people that are doing it in Louisiana. Obviously you don't have to move to Nashville, it's the home of country music. So a lot of us do, but there's so much great music being made by people in Louisiana too. So it's exciting crossing that bridge a little better and trying to do the community.
No doubt.
Yeah,
I've
loved it. I know we've talked about it privately on just like how much of it was kind of almost a surprise to us. Would you say that? Like, as far as like, I think we kind of got into it, and each level of it's been kind of a surprise because we've gone, well, let's try this news thing out, and then we're like, wow, there's plenty of news. We got it. There, the Louisiana Country thing is rolling with a significant amount of material, and you go, oh, talent. We got it. We keep looking deeper and deeper at this. It's good stuff. Mm-hmm. And then the interviews are so interesting. I mean, I've enjoyed that so much. Well, of course, I think our heart was that we wanted to be a resource to everybody coming up and kind of share light on some of these stories like we're talking about, because I think a lot of us, like we said, we didn't know necessarily some of the ones we're close with, the in-depth stories. You kind of get the interview style thing that you do so well, Ronnie. You get the deeper story. It's hard to break into Joe Bryson talking about harder stuff, that he's gone through over a beer. But in the context of this, we can kind of understand why he's going through the music journey, or why Hadley Joe, has these certain things that, people are going through. So it's been so interesting to kind of hear the advice from the legends, that you just take to heart, where you're like, oh man, I got to keep that forever. Ronnie, you've said a couple of them time and time again of the, whether it's the Kylie being a female astronaut is one that sticks in my head, that she's going to do it. She's going to figure out how to be a female astronaut. You're either, what's the one from if you're going to do it or you're going to do it either way, like about songwriting and music. Yeah. That's a classic.
Rick Huckabee, he said, I said, what advice would you have? And he said that somebody told him years ago, he's like, if you think that you want to do anything else, do that. Like, but if
I love
he said, if you can't do anything else besides music, you're going to do it anyway. But he was like, there's a lot easier ways to make a living out there. So you got to be all in is basically what he was saying. Like, if you got a backup plan, and there's been several of them that have kind of said this, like, if you have a backup plan in this world, you know, I mean, you just got to be all the way. You got to be in, because it's tough, man. It's very tough.
Yeah. I've learned so much from everybody that's come on in so many different ways, and I know you have too, Ronnie. From the hit songwriter to people that are still in Louisiana, man. Like the people that are still in Louisiana, you go, dude, you're hustling. You all are working. You know, like you guys are out there, you're crushing, and you're singing, you're hustling hard. And a lot of these guys, I'll tell you from my own experience, they go, and I'll leave it all out there. I know a lot of these guys have gone, you know, it's the playing field, and they leave it all out there. And I mean, I've even taken that with me a little bit, because sometimes I'll get within the stage and within my player, like the band that's there with me that night, and I kind of live on stage, and they're just talking so much more about the people that have come to enjoy this experience. And I've taken a lot of that stuff that they said to heart. So, I mean, I've gotten so many cool lessons out of us just doing it to where it's been worth it on our front. So, I mean, yeah, it's been super cool.
Yeah. One of our guys that we had on the show right here, I'll pop it on the screen, Mr. Kendall Schaefer. Now I popped it on the screen. I can't read it. So let me get it off. He says, you boys are doing great work, spreading the love. Appreciate the hell out of what you do. Man, we appreciate guys like you coming on, Kendall, and what you have done in the music business and what you continue to do. And just, you know, it's one thing, the artist didn't necessarily have to accept us. You know what I mean? They could have just been like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to do these retreats and stuff like that. I've got my own friends. I've got my own thing. Every artist that we've reached out to has been like excited about being a part of this, excited about meeting these other people and all of that. So the fact that the artists are as excited as they are and the fans are as excited as they are, it just makes this whole thing really cool. But
I think we were looking for that too, Ronnie, not to cut you off, but like, I think that was what our first year was kind of about. I think we all agreed. We were like, I think we have to just go do as much as we can this first year and see how it's responded to. And thankfully, I think we're all like, good. Everybody seems to be happy with, like, the artists are seeing the value in this. Hopefully we're getting value out of this. Hopefully everybody that's watching is too. So, I mean, and the fans too, I think, have been showing up. So it's been really cool to see that. That's definitely kept our optimism and energy headed in the right direction this past year.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And so this is leading into a couple more things that we did this past year, and then we'll move on to this year. But one of the things that we've noticed, and Kendall, you'll understand this too. I think we all kind of recognize this as artists and songwriters first, individually, but then we start talking to each other. It's like, oh yeah, dude, that is true. And we start figuring it out. But one thing that we noticed was it's almost as hard to go from region to region in Louisiana as it is to just go from Louisiana to Nashville. It's almost as hard to break into a new region. I mean, there's so much talent. Like you were talking about Gabriel Broussard. It's like, you know, all these people, and look, Kendall right there in Baton Rouge.
Yeah,
but, you know, and Kendall might have fans all over the world, but for most people, for a lot of people, you know, like Baton Rouge area and surrounding areas are like, hell yeah, Kendall's awesome. But then he might go to Monroe, and it's like, it's like starting over. So one of the things that we're trying to do, and we're going to do an even better job as we move forward, is, you know, it's like building a house. You got to build a foundation. If you have cracks in the foundation, nothing's going to work. And, you know, Louisiana is our foundation for all of us as writers and all of that. We have to have a strong foundation back home, and then we can build anything on top of that. Any dream that we have, we can build on it. And, you know, imagine you look at Laney now, and imagine if Laney had the resources that we're going to be providing over the next few years. If she would have had this 10 years ago, she would have made it in 5 instead of 10. And in the next lane, what we're doing is really for the next Laneys and the next Jordans and all of that, you know. But in saying that, we did some things in Louisiana this past year. We hooked up at Rock and Bowl with our buddy Clay. We did a show at LSU-A, who's awesome We're going to do some more stuff with them this year. It's just we've got to get these artists to kind of play in different regions. Like we need to get Kendall, like I said, to Monroe and Shreveport and get them on these tickets and stuff. And once we do that, the artists are going to sell themselves. You know, I mean, they have the talent. They just have to have the exposure. So I know that's a long way of saying that, but what do you guys feel about that overall thought about it being tough to go from region to region in Louisiana? And what do you think about our approach that we're taking to fix it?
I 100% agree. You know, I love playing in Baton Rouge. You know, been gigging in Baton Rouge since I was in at least middle school, and going back, played at the the Texas Club and the Manship Theater, and fairs and festivals and all kinds of stuff. And it is really hard. I've gone and opened for people, in Bossier and in other parts of the state. And it is really hard getting your name out there. And I think that we've mentioned this many times, but the guys in Texas do a really great job of spreading the love from town to town and helping each other grow. And I think that's just something that hasn't really been a thing. And it's kind of funny. My old publisher, Chris Dubois, at Seagull, like 10 years ago, told me, he was like, hey man, how Texas has their thing and the Georgia guys kind of have their thing. He's like, you should create that, but in Louisiana. And I was like 21 at the time. And I was like, how am I going to create just like this whole infrastructure of clubs and artists? Like, I was like, dude, I'm just getting started. Like, I don't know how to do this. And obviously it's a very large undertaking, but I just think that, that's one of the big pieces of what we're trying to do here. And obviously the whole thing doesn't happen overnight, but, building this community, I think organically it's going to happen, whether it's shows that we're a part of or not. I think that it's really getting the idea in people's brains. And, it doesn't hurt that Laney and Jordan Davis are carrying the flag, but I'm selfish. I want the whole radio to be full of Louisiana artists. So, because I know that we have so many more talented people that could and should be on the radio and selling out shows all over the country, but especially in Louisiana. And we know that the fans are out there. We're getting a ton of love on the socials. I think we're close to 30,000 followers here on Facebook, which is unbelievable. The team, especially the people that are on here behind the scenes, Marissa, Kaylor, all that, just killing it with the content and just sharing all kinds of great stuff. So I think we've got the as Ronnie said, the foundation of this house is coming together really strong, and I'm really excited for what year 2 of being full send with this is going to look like.
Dude, I love it, and I agree with all that you said, and I think that it's gonna have that move. I think it already is moving that direction for all the things we're doing. I love all the collaborative stuff, though, Ronnie. I think that's going to be the win. I think that's all been not knowing we need it. I think it's just it'll be such a powerful thing. It's such a even audience that we're able to gather here. I think it's really special because it is kind of unique, and it's a gathering place for everybody's audience to where they do get exposed to different stuff. As we know, we can share each of our groups that come on and share their stories with us. And so we get an influx of people that are kind of in, and they get to meet people through our other interviews and through our content. And so I think that's really cool, and it's something that can help us move from region to region, because I agree with you. I mean, I think I'm in that boat 100%. When I was looking, I don't know those venues in Shreveport. I don't know some of the venues in New Orleans. I don't know some of the festivals that go on in those areas. I sure don't have contact. And so even just some of those things, I think for all of us to be able to kind of have an open resource for all of us to be able to use, I think really cool. And I think the fact that now, CJ, whenever you go and open some of those shows at the festivals, I think there's going to be something special going. And he's a Louisiana country artist. He's not somebody just opening up for Leonard Skinner that's from some other city. He's from where we're from. And I think people will start to say that more now. And I think it'll make that person go, oh, I got to follow him. He's from where I'm from, and I got to keep up with his story. And I'm happy that everybody will get to kind of come up underneath the Boot Hat logo like that and go, he's one of the ones that's from there. He's something kind of different. So I think that's really cool too.
Yeah, and we've got a few more minutes left. I try to keep it around an hour, but
Sorry, Ron.
that also goes back to what I was saying earlier. You know, whenever I was saying it was really cool because, like, when I would see Louisiana up on the jumbotron and stuff, it was, like I said, it wasn't just me; it was my friends and stuff. They were so excited, and they were like, "That's my boy," and this and that, and that's what I think this next year. I think we're starting to get some fans excited. But relatively speaking, we're just getting started. You know, like, we're just a seed right now, and we're just watering it. But when this thing grows, we want the fans to get excited about Kendall, you know, and get excited about everybody and this and that, and just be like, take pride in when they put out a new song, like, yeah, we did it, you know, because they are a part of it. Fans are a part of it. I mean, it's a big part of this. That's why you ask any of these artists. That's why we do it. You know, that's why everybody writes songs to, you know, for it's bigger than us. You know, it's not our song. You know, however that song comes through you, God or whatever, and when you write it down on paper, that's to share with the world, and that's to share with our Louisiana fans and all of that. And then the other thing before we move to this year is, I love whenever people like Kendall and Jared Lane, and there's been a lot of them. I'm not purposely leaving anybody out, but a lot of people come in and they comment and they support each other, like, during the interviews. And I know it's Tuesday night and people have a million things going, but oftentimes there's other artists that are commenting in, going, my boy, and this and that, and I see them from different regions and stuff. So what we're doing is working. And Kendall says, I like to see Louisiana flag flowing proud like Texas flies theirs. Exactly, man. Nothing wrong. There's Hadley Joe right there. Thank you to all you guys for all you're doing to help build this foundation for Louisiana. And you know, I said this last week. Hadley Joe is a perfect example of why we're doing this, because we could interview the Jim McCormicks and the Tracy Broussards, who have been in the business forever and accomplished so much, man. And that's awesome. And I love those guys. And I love hearing those stories. But really, it's Hadley Joe, who just turned 18, and she's like, let's do this thing. And it's like, how can we help her? You know, like, and for her to come on here and share her story, and, you know, her health condition, and, you know, Lucy, her service dog, and all of that, and her story and her journey, and about how she just doesn't quit. You know, she's got to get plasma every week because of the condition. But she's just rolling. She had the best attitude in the world. She's super talented. So those are the people who we're just going to keep doing this for. And but I love that, man. So I just wanted to throw that in. Thanks for tuning in, Hadley Joe. And then let's talk about this year coming up, man. We got some really cool things. We're going to do all those things that we talked about again. Everything we mentioned already, we're going to do that and more. CJ, just in a couple of months, I'll let you, since you kind of put all this together, I'll let you kind of announce what we have coming up. 2 nights in Nashville. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, well, we're excited to be back at the local on Mardi Gras. So Fat Tuesday. We're gonna have, you know, another 15 plus songwriters in the round. You know, we had an unbelievable lineup last year. We're gonna try to get some of those people back, but we're gonna try to expand. If anybody's watching it who is a Louisiana artist, you know, shoot us a message. We're gonna be putting out feelers here shortly for that. If anybody wants to make the trip, even if you're from Louisiana, we're wanting to spread the love for that one. But we're also having a whiskey jam on Monday night. So we're really excited. Ward and the gang with Whiskey Jam are allowing us to do a takeover, which is going to be really fun. So we're going to be announcing the lineup for that shortly. But you're not going to be disappointed. We got some crazy talent getting pulled for that. So yeah, I mean, that's just February. So we got a lot more that we're working on with events, and, you know, I think we're going to try to get some more social hangs in Nashville and hopefully Louisiana this year. Yeah. So I mean, that's just the start, but I think building on top of year one really nicely already coming into it.
Yeah. The Whiskey Jam thing's a big deal, man. That's very sweet of those guys to let us do that because they don't have to. They don't need us. Like, they're fine. They have a great brand. They've built a wonderful brand and a huge following. And it's a remarkable job that what they've done over the last, I don't even know, man, decade. I mean,
I think it's been over 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so for them to be kind enough to sort of open that door and allow us to experience a good night like that as a Louisiana family during Mardi Gras is really nice of them. And I know the Louisiana people out there are going to show up and show out. So we won't disappoint them.
Oh yeah. It's going to be an incredible night for sure.
I know, like, we're trying to find more and more ways to make that one epic too. So we got a couple ideas in the work to try to see if we can dial her up a notch. But I mean, that's talking about earlier too, as far as like, I feel like there's the Nashville milestones, at least in my experience, and like CMA Fest, like we talked about, was one, and Jan is one of the people that I know. And so it's like, I hope we get to continue to grab some things like that in town too, that we can continually do to offer milestones for everybody. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So, I mean, we're just going to continue to build. We're going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to do shows. I would love to start some of these shows where we're putting people together and we're shooting across the state to a different region. Some of you guys that are watching, help us out too. I mean, we're doing the best that we can as far as making all of this stuff happen. But if you guys have ideas and you're like, hey, I can get us in here. Let's do a night with 5 artists here. If you could get us in Houma, if you could get wherever, let's do it. Let's get this stuff on the calendar and let's get it done, and let's share these opportunities because if you're an artist out there and you're very popular somewhere, maybe you do a couple of songs that night, but you share these other artists with your crowd, and then maybe they'll return the favor for you. And let's just get that stuff rolling, man, and we'll promote it as Louisiana Country Music. And man, let's just keep this thing rolling. So I'm very excited about the new year. Feel extremely blessed that this is something that we get to do. There was a ESPN guy a while back that ended up passing of cancer, but he was saying, people look at things as most people look at things as I've got to do this. I've got to do this. And he was talking about his career and he was like, I get to do this. And this is certainly a get to do. And I know that I probably speak for most of the artists out there. Very blessed that we get to do this. It's a really it beats roofing and digging ditches. It's not like we're out in the sun all day, just dogging it out. I mean, we're getting to do something that we're passionate about and something that we love, and it's working, and people are enjoying it. So I'm just extremely grateful, and then I'll kind of pass it to you guys for closing words on the year. But that's kind of where I'm at. Just very grateful, very honored, and these interviews on Tuesday nights, like, how did I get lucky enough to be the guy that gets to talk to all these people and meet these people and hear their stories? It's amazing, and I'm just very appreciative of that.
You're great at it, dude. CJ, you rap before me. Go ahead.
I mean, yeah, I was just gonna say, Ronnie, you've been killing it with these and everything else you're doing, and it's been really amazing to see this vision come to life. Between you and Alex and everybody else on the team, that's crushing. Really excited for the Hitmakers show at the Manship here, and for all of us to get to hang out. That'll be a really special way to wrap the year. So I'm really looking forward to that, and we've got some great friends joining us that night. And yeah, man, the next year is going to be amazing for so many different reasons. I think we've all got really cool stuff in the works on multiple fronts, and Louisiana country music is kind of at the heart of that. So I think it's going to be awesome.
No doubt.
I'll echo both you guys, and I'm excited about the home holidays. That's going to be so fun to wrap up the year and get to see everybody in person. I think we're going to get to do some bouncing around Baton Rouge, maybe even before, it sounds like some.
Yeah, we're going to head over to Sugarfield Spirits, our partners there in Baton Rouge, and can't wait to that Sunday afternoon. Can't wait for that. A little private deal.
He's got a bunch of those testers, huh? That you could test all that good stuff they make at Sugarfield. I'm a little nervous of what that will turn out to at the Manship.
They're sweet enough that they're opening up just for us, so we appreciate that.
That'll be so fun. But I'm so grateful. I think this is we've talked again and again about, I think, how these weird circumstances all kind of led us to one another, but it seems to be a great equation of what we got going here. And so I think I'm super grateful to be in the seat that I'm in within our project as well, and be able to work with you guys, get to do this, like you say. And I don't know, I'm super excited because I know you guys know me, but I don't know how much the rest of the guests here know me. But we had talked about this thing kind of in phases. Like you said, Ronnie, we're kind of at phase 1 still, and we've talked about a couple phases down the road of what the extending of this project get into. It's all really good stuff. It's all stuff that I think will be valuable for everybody. I mean, I know we're excited about a bunch of different projects that we have kicking around, and some things that will be, they're just going to happen in 2026. We're kind of just like we did in 2025. I feel like they were kind of an idea until we put them down on paper and got it done. So I'm excited to see all of these things that are being tossed around and thought right now kind of come to fruition in 2026. So yeah, thanks you dudes, and thanks to everybody out there for allowing us to keep doing this thing. I'm excited to see where it goes. Keep showing up on Tuesday nights too and see what we learn.
No doubt, man. And I'll just wrap up by saying, I mean, this has been it's been a pretty tough year for me in a lot of different ways. And, you know, as I get closer to the end of this year and I look back, we were talking about how things happen for a reason and stuff, like, I really needed this year. Like, I needed Louisiana country music more than I knew. This has got me through some tough times. And so I'm very appreciative of the artists who have just, oh yeah, let's do it. And the fans and just the people, and especially our team and you guys. I mean, there's been times that I've been challenged this year in a lot of different ways, but this was just that consistent day-to-day thing to just keep me driving, to keep me going. And that light at the end of the tunnel, like, because we've all got tough years, man, and you can't just bog down. And this was what, just talking to you guys every day and all that. So I just want to say thank you to everybody out there that is a part of Louisiana country music. And that means everybody. That means the fans, the people who tune in, because this is not our project. This is all of our projects. So I just want to end with that. And then Manship on Sunday night. Man, it's gonna be a really killer show. I mean, I'm serious. If you want to get tickets, probably go ahead and do it, because I looked earlier, and I mean, I think there was like 20 tickets or something like that. So looking forward to that one. Yeah.
Merry Christmas to everybody. We got a bunch of Merry Christmases here in the comments. What's up, Charles? And hey, Susie and Sydney. Got a bunch of good ones popping up with some Merry Christmas. I'll throw a couple on. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, and we're excited too. Hadley, thank you. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Ronnie. I'm going to get me and CJ out of here. I think that's what's best. And I'm going to let you close it out in classic Ronnie fashion of some sort here while I prepare the music. Okay. No pressure. Cheers, brother.
All right,
thank you.
I appreciate it, man.
Much.
CJ, get you some rest, brother.
Merry Christmas, fellas.
Merry Christmas.
Everybody out there.
I'll see y'all Saturday, actually. So see you then, bro.
All right. Later, Ronnie.
All right. Merry Christmas. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Look, I mean, I know this might not have been as exciting as some of our guests, but we just kind of wanted to do a little bit of a recap and just kind of all get on here publicly and share our thoughts and kind of say our gratitudes for you guys out there, because seriously, without you guys, this is nothing. So thank you for that. Just thank everybody out there. We hope you enjoyed the show. We do this every Tuesday night at 7:00. So if you do enjoy the show, make it a routine. Join in, get in the comments, meet new people every Tuesday night. We have such interesting guests, and I think that you will really be surprised. Get off of Facebook for a few minutes and just tune in and listen to somebody's story. So thanks again for tuning in. Merry Christmas to everybody out there. It's a wonderful time of the year. Make sure to like, follow, share our stuff on Facebook, YouTube, all the socials, all that stuff. And anyway, God bless everybody out there. Merry Christmas, and we'll see you next Tuesday.